Liezllovesbooks, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, welcome back. Happy Saturday. Today's video is going to be my last video of 2022. It's going to be my top 10 romances of 2022 plus some honorable mentions. So it's basically like 15. At the number 10 spot, we have Next to You by Hannah Bottom Young. And Next to You is about Elaine and Mark. And they're the best friends from the characters in book 1, which is next of kin. But they're at their friend's New Year's Eve party. They share a kiss, but they decide to stay friends because Lane is still dealing with the loss of her father, even though he died when she was in high school. She still feels the loss because
Lane feels that it's her fault that her father died.
It was her fault, so they decide to stay friends. 1 year later, Lane decides to buy a bus and convert the bus into one of those mobile homes. And she asks Mark to help her convert this bus. He is a construction worker, and since that day, Mark has been pining for Lane because he always had a crush on her, but he knew she wasn't ready then. And there's a line in this book where, I don't think there's one line, but anytime Lane needs her, like, she always calls Mark and he's always there to be there for her whatever she needs. One day, Lane goes out on this disastrous date, and she was talking about how it didn't go so well, and Mark suggests, since they're best friends, they can enter into a friends with benefits sort of thing, because Lane said, well, it was Mark's idea, but because he suggests that because Lane is not emotionally ready to commit, and she's kind of hesitant at first because she's like, I don't know, I don't want to hurt your feelings, or things can get complicated, but Matt assures her that she's not going to hurt his feelings, and things are going to stay the same with their friendship. But of course, when they do get into this friends with benefits relationship, of course, feelings start to develop. But again, Lane is dealing with a lot of grief from her dad's death, and Mark just wants to feel like appreciated for the nice things he does. Lane appreciates him, but she's not sure if she can give him the romantic relationship he wants when she is still so broken. So, Please Read Next to You by Hannah Bottom Young. I read this book because of Caitlin, the love librarian. Number 9 on my list is Always Only You by Chloe Leese. It's about
I read this book because of Tori from Novel Life. I watched her Bergman Brothers series review
on Frankie. Frankie is the hockey team's social media manager, and he thinks nothing can come out of this crush. But one day, when Frankie's house is burglarized, Ren suggests, since he has an extra room in his house, that she move in with him temporarily. And Ren finds out that Frankie is going to school, so she's not going to be the social media manager anymore. And so Ren takes this opportunity to get closer to Frankie and to confess his feelings for her. But Frankie has autism and a chronic illness. I can never remember what the chronic illness is. I think it's multiple sclerosis. She walks with a cane. So even when Frankie tells her he has feelings for her,
even when Ren tells Frankie he has feelings for her,
why would
she doesn't believe him.
Ren Bergman fall for a girl like Frankie? So that's a point of contention in their relationship. But what I love about Ren is that he says, I don't care if you have autism, I don't care if you have a chronic illness, I just like you for you, and those are just a part of you. So that number 8 is That's Why Always Only You is on my list of favorite books of the year because of Ren Bergman. Number 8 for my top 10 of 2022 is In the Weeds by B.K. Borson. In the Weeds is about the farmer in Love Life Farms, Beckett, and the social media manager that helped Love Life Farms get back on its feet. In book 1, we know when Beckett and the heroines see each other again, they realize that it was their one-night stand person. And in book 2, In the Weeds, the heroine is very fed up with her job. She's not sure if she wants to be this famous YouTuber anymore. So she goes back to Love Light Farms, asks for a room at the inn at this town, and the innkeeper or the manager at the manager of the inn say they have no more spare rooms, but they suggest Beckett's house because he had a spare room, And Beckett, when he finds out that the heroine has no place to stay, he offers her his spare room at his house. So it's forced proximity. It's second chance because of what happened at book 1. And I just love this book. Beckett is such a cinnamon roll hero. He's what made the book for me. He loves animals. He has social anxiety. And he is so swoony. But the point of contention in their relationship is Beckett is worried that she will just leave again without telling him because she's a famous YouTuber and he's just a farmer. So he's worried that she'll just leave without saying anything. And the heroine is worried that Beckett won't ask her to stay. So that's all I'm gonna say for this book because I don't want to ruin it. Number 7, we have the words. And in the words, we have Phoenix and Lennon. Lennon is very studious. She does good in school. Phoenix is the opposite. So her English teacher begs Lennon to be Phoenix's tutor because he really needs the help. And so as a favor to the teacher, she agrees. And through her teaching him English lessons, they grow closer, they develop a friendship. But one day the talent show happens and Phoenix does something horrible to betray Lennon. And she says, I never want to see you again. I can't believe you did that. Fast forward 5 years later, Phoenix is he's in a very famous band. But one of his bandmates die. So after that, he starts drinking and seeing all these women, and his manager's like, look, I can't take it anymore. Something has to change. So one of his bandmates who went to school with Phoenix, because he's the social media manager, the manager for the band suggests having a sober companion, one that won't give in to Phoenix's wishes. So his bandmate suggests Lennon. So the manager goes to Lennon's house and she refuses at first, but then he comes back with a large sum of money offer, and she says yes because her father has Alzheimer's and she really needs the money. So Phoenix and Lennon are back in each other's orbits again. And at first they really didn't like. So it's friends to enemies, to friends again, to lovers. It is a slow burn romance. Phoenix has to grovel for what he did to Lennon, and I think he does. Number 6 is Between Hello and Goodbye. Between Hello and Goodbye is about Faith, who's a party girl who's always showing up late for work, and because of that, her boss says, you need to take a sabbatical and figure out what you really want. So she goes on vacation to Hawaii. And
I read this book because of Sam from Sam Reads a Little, and Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl.
She goes on a trail next to a volcano, and the firefighters show up. One of those firefighters is our hero. His name is Ash, and you can really tell that from the moment they meet, Faith and Asher have this connection. But Faith says, look, I really have bad luck with guys. I'm not looking for anything serious. So they just try to remain friends and simply platonic, but they cannot deny their chemistry. So eventually Faith and Asher give in to their feelings, and they try this long distance relationship, and things happen that are unexpected. But what I can say is Faith and Asher are soulmates. And I wish this book was more popular. Between Hello and Goodbye by Emma Scott. Please read it. We have Before I Let Go by Ken. Before I Let Go is about a divorced couple named Jasmine and Josiah. They divorced because 2 consecutive tragedies happened in their family, so they couldn't take it anymore, so they decided to get a divorce. But they are still working together because they own a restaurant together, and they are still co-parenting together. And it's been 2 years after the divorce, but you can see they still have feelings for each other. Man, they're always around each other because of their co-parenting. And they even try to see other people, but that just doesn't work out for them. Then one day they have to go on a business trip together. There's only one room. There was a miscommunication with the booking hotel thing, so they have to share a room together, and they realize that they still have feelings for each other, but Jasmine and Josiah have unresolved issues, so they have to decide whether they are going to work those issues out and give their relationship another chance or walk away. And this book is so beautiful, and it touches on the aspect of mental health and loss, and the idea of needing to go to therapy and needing to work being okay with yourself and loving yourself before you can love somebody else. That's number 5. Stormy by L.J. Seeger. I read Stormy because of Crystal.
Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life.
And Sloane's husband dies, and she's a widow, and for 4 years, and she works at their husband's company. She's an interior designer, and she needs a construction guy, and the person the client wants to hire is Sloane's deceased husband's best friend, Dominic. And Sloane and Dominic do not like each other. They don't get along. Sloane thinks that Dominic doesn't like her, but Dominic is like that for reasons, because he actually met Sloane first, but for reasons she doesn't remember him. And one day at a club, when Dominic saves Sloane from a bad situation, Sloane realizes that maybe things with Dominic isn't what they seem, and it's their relationship. And the pining Dominic does for Sloane in this book is unreal. It is my top recommendation for pining hero. The Dominic love for Sloane knows no bounds. On my list is Mile High by Liz Ford. Mile High is a hockey romance. It's about Xander's, a hockey player, and his romance with the team's flight attendant. The story starts off and the flight attendant is named Stevie. The story starts off when Xander thinks Stevie is one of his groupies, but she just wants to do the flight check, and Stevie brushes Xander off because she thinks he's so arrogant. And after that initial encounter, Xander starts to get really intrigued with Stevie. He basically pursues her, but Stevie is not sure she wants to get involved with another athlete because her ex really did a number on her. Because of her ex, she has all these issues about her body. She's a curvy girl, but Dominic makes her see that Stevie is beautiful the way she is, and likewise, Stevie makes Xander see that it's okay to accept love from somebody else. Because Xander's also had issues with abandonment. He had issues of his own with abandonment because his mother abandoned him and his sister and his father when he was a teenager. So he has trouble accepting love. And Stevie and Xander's relationship is so beautiful because Xander's helps Stevie realizes that she should love her body and she's beautiful the way she is, and that she should never let a man dictate to her how she should feel about herself. And Sloan makes Stevie makes Xander realize that not everyone is going to leave. Like, it's okay to accept love from somebody else. And I don't even mind the third act breakup because Stevie and Xander really needed to grow individually and learn to accept each other's and learn to deal with each other's issues, and they did that separately, and I'm glad. So their relationship is just so beautiful. They lift each other up so much. Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. This book made me cry. Still Beating is about Cora and Dean. Dean is Cora's sister's fiance, and they never really got along. They're always bickering. But one day, Cora goes to a party and she wants to leave early, and nobody's picking up their phone. So she calls Dean to pick her up. But when they were coming home, they get abducted by a serial killer. So Dean and Cora spend time together in captivity. Trigger warnings for a lot of trigger warnings for this. This is a dark romance. I read this book because of Jasper from Liezllovesbooks. And it's just a dark romance. And the first 30% of this book is them in captivity and them really clinging on to each other. And the next, and when they get out of captivity, Cora and Dean realize that no one can understand them except each other. So it's about Cora and Dean's romance. It's so beautiful. It made me cry. Cora and Dean deserve the world. That is why it's one of my favorite books of the year. Please, if you haven't read Still Beating, please read it. It's by Jennifer Hartman. It's Flawless by Elsie Silver. Flawless is a single dad romance.
I meant to say heartless.
I won't get into it because I've mentioned this multiple times on my channel. But Cora, excuse me, I'm getting the names mixed up. But Kate is looking for a nanny for his son for the summer, and his soon-to-be sister-in-law, Summer, recommends her best friend, Willa, and Willa is like a hurricane in Dean's life. She makes him, not Dean, Willa is a hurricane in Kate's life. She makes him see that what he's been missing, and because Kate's ex-wife really did a number on him, so he doesn't think he is deserving of love because his ex-wife cheated on him. And Willa is really just trying to figure out what she's doing with her life, because she's from a famous family and she did not know what she wants to do with her life. But Kate makes her see that's okay. Like, she doesn't have to know everything, and she'll figure it out. That's what I like about Kate and Willa, is they are good at lifting each other up. And I love Willa's relationship with Kate's son, Luke. Those are my top 10 of 2022. My honorable mentions would be Twisted Hate by Anna Wong, Funny Feelings by Tara DeWitt, Give Me More by Sarah Kate, and Hidden Waters by Catherine Cowles.
I forgot to mention Jasper Hill by Devin Carey.
Mentions. Please let me know down below what are your favorite romances of the year. I would love to know. Please let me know if you read any of these books. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I
meant to say it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe. I would be forever grateful.